Hearty welcome to all knowledge seekers to my channel. This is Dr. Madhusudan Rao Kadapa. In this video I am going to explain the importance of facility location. Starting with the definition of facility location, it is the process of determination of a place or location to establish an organization or a factory for optimal operational economy and effectiveness. Now, in detail, anybody who wants to establish an organization has to first determine the location where he has to establish his organization, because once we determine a place which is found to be suitable for an organization, considering some factors and ignoring some other factors, after some time, if we identify some other problems which may be more costly, then it is not that much easy to shift the organization from one place to other place. So it is very important that the location of the facility has to be determined taking into consideration several factors. Now, the facility location will not be done in a single step or in a single stage. In stage 1, we have to select a location which may be either domestic or international. So depending on the product, depending on the nature of the product, depending on the manufacturing process, or depending on the market, or depending on so many other conditions, we have to determine whether a domestic location is suitable or to go for an international location. Then in the next stage, that means once we decide or determine the optimal location, maybe domestic or international, then the next step is to select the region. Suppose we have decided to establish our organization in a particular country. Then a country is so big and there will be several regions, maybe states, and the rules and regulations, industrial policies, government, and so many other factors may differ from region to region. And in some cases, climatic conditions and other conditions which are essential for our product or service may also vary in different regions. So the next step is to select the region. Once the region is selected, then the next step is to select the locality or community. Suppose the region is a state. Within the state, again, there are several localities or places where the availability of labor and then power and other factors may differ from place to place within the region. So based on some factors, we have to identify the locality or community in which we can establish our organization within the selected region in the selected country. And then finally selection of the exact site where we are going to establish our organization. So these are the different stages in which we can identify an optimal location to establish a facility. And coming to the choice of domestic or international location, as we have seen different steps. Now let us have a outlook on all these steps or stages in detail. When a choice of domestic or international location has to be made, here we have to consider factors like export and import regulations, and what are the taxes and other rules related to exports or import of raw materials. Suppose we are using some typical raw materials which may be imported from other countries. Then political stability in the country. See, if a country is politically stable, somewhat it will help the organization to perform better. Suppose if there is political instability, then the entrepreneurs may not be in a position to understand what will be the rules and regulations as the new government comes, and how they will change the existing scenario and all these things. Then currency and exchange rates. So as we are interested in identifying an international location, suppose if it is so, then in that particular country what is the currency and what is the exchange rate of currency with the entrepreneur's parent country. Then cultural and economic aspects, these are also very important, because the culture of people and economic aspects in that particular country, this will also influence the organization and its performance. Suppose if we select an international location, then natural and physical conditions prevailing in that particular country. So these are all the factors which we have to consider before identifying whether to go for a domestic location or an international location. And once we have selected a particular country, then within the country, that means once the choice is made regarding domestic or international location, then next within that country, which region is suitable for our organization has to be determined, considering a few factors like availability of raw materials. Since we are dealing with some type of product, suppose that product may require a typical raw material or raw materials, and whether the raw materials are available abundantly or the market where the raw material is available is close to us, and all these things, and cost of raw material also. And second one is the proximity to markets. Suppose we are manufacturing products, then we have to sell it, and whether the location we are selecting is close to the market or not. And then availability of power, because power is one of the important factors. We have to check the power is abundantly available without any interruption, and the cost of power, the way how the power is distributed in that particular region and all. Then transportation facilities, because to move the raw materials from suppliers to the company, or to move the finished goods from company to the marketplaces, we need transportation facilities. We have to check what are all the available transportation facilities in that particular region, and depending on the type of our product and type of markets we are going to serve, we may need maybe air or water travel transport, road transport, rail transport. So what are all the different types of transport facilities available in that particular region? These things have to be balanced, because the cost of transportation varies depending on which type of mode of transportation we are selecting. So in order to minimize the transportation cost, we must have adequate transportation facilities and connectivities with highways, etc. Then suitability of climate. Suppose we are dealing with products which are influenced by the climatic conditions, especially pharmaceutical industries, where the medicines have to be made within the specified temperature, humidity and other requirements. Suppose if climate is one of the important factors, then we have to check whether the suitable climatic conditions exists in the selected region or not. And then government policies. What are the government policies regarding issuing from the beginning, that is from issue of permission to the company or organization to establish, the other fee and etc., taxes, all these things, and how governments will support the organizations. in developing industrialization as well as employment opportunities, and what are all the other policies related to establishment and running of industries by the local governance. Then coming to the selection of community. Community means a small space, maybe a locality, where we have to consider some of the factors while deciding which locality we have to select within the selected region. The important factors are availability of labor, basically. Suppose if it is a labor intense organization where majority of the operations are carried out by operators or human beings, say, then the kind of labor requirement depending on the type of operations, the skill sets required, and what are all the types of people available within that community, and then civic communities to workers. Once we recruit people, they may need so many other requirements to fulfill their family needs as well as their personal needs. So availability of hospitals nearby for the family as well as for the workers, and schools for their children, and amusement parks or any other facilities like theaters, malls, etc. Then existence of complementary industries. Complementary industries are those which may also use these kind of materials, and those which can use the what you call scrap or any other wastes of these organizations and make some other products. And if any such industries are available nearby, then that may help the organizations to sell their byproducts, and that means their wastes may become byproducts, raw material for some other organizations which may make some other products like that. Then existence of competing industries. Suppose if we have industries of same type dealing with same type of product or service, then naturally there will be some advantage for all these kind of organizations, competing organizations, to get raw materials or any other requirements, and they can collectively discuss or bargain with governments to get some kind of advantages or benefits from the for the organizations from government, or they can fight for their rights, or they can fight for some other benefits of the organizations for employees or any other thing. And they can get raw materials also, because the competing industries are within the same location. All of them can make some group kind of purchase, so that they may get some cost benefits in purchasing raw materials and so on. And availability of water and firefighting facilities. These are very important because water is one of the essential thing, and firefighting facilities should be available in case of any fire accidents or any other unexpected accidents happen in the organization. Coming to the selection of exact site. So we have considered several factors at different stages, coming to domestic, from domestic or international site to the region in which a particular community we are selecting. And once all these choices are made, then the next level is to find out the exact site where we have to establish our organization. Here we consider factors like soil fertility. Suppose if it is a agri-based industry dealing with agricultural products, then definitely soil fertility is a major factor. We may need fertile lands. Suppose we are dealing with products which may use metals or non-metals as raw materials, then the soil fertility may not be an important factor, but we have to look at the strength of the soil in order to construct. Suppose we are constructing multi-story buildings, then we have to think of the strength of the soil, like that. Then area of land required, how much land we need based on the present requirement as well as for future requirement, keeping in view the expansion and growth of the organization. So how much area of land is required, and then cost of the land. Cost of land also varies from uh, locality to locality. Accordingly, we have to decide on which locality is suitable for us based on cost of the land, and then mode of transportation facilities available and cost of transportation. So if we have a mix of road, rail and airways, then what is the cost per unit to transship our materials, maybe raw materials transship it to the company from different suppliers, or to transship our finished goods to different marketplaces, and what will be the cost, and then cost of labor and power. The cost of labor also differs from locality to locality depending on the availability of labor, their qualifications, experience, skills, and other factors. Then coming to power also, the availability of power nearby, suppose if we have nearby power generation sources, maybe of different kind, or we may get mix of sources to get the power required for our operation, fuel and so on. So this is how we will consider several factors at different stages in order to identify an exact location to establish an organization. Thank you very much for watching my videos, and for more videos, like, share and subscribe my channel so that I can provide more and more insights on different topics in operations management, production, industrial engineering and some other concepts. Thank you very much.